Welcome viewers to another Fireside chat of Jumpboard Consulting. Jumpboard Consulting is expanding its horizon by welcoming startups in the Fireside chat to understand their unique ideas and startup journey. This will enable startups or soon to be startups to chalk out a customized startup journey for themselves. We were launched on 27th May and till now we have conducted 11 webinars, 10 Fireside chat and 38 individual focus sessions. We have also launched a battle readiness program for transitioning veterans from 4th July and it will span 4 weeks. Speaking about the guest today, Codeninja.ai is a no-code platform that reduces enterprise software development and deployment cycle from months to weeks. Founded by a team of techies having combined experience of more than 60 years, Codeninja is empowering enterprises to accelerate their digital transformation. At the same time, Codeninja is enabling makers of the 21st century to give life to their ideas without writing a single line of code, something very, very unique. So Codeninja team, tell us, how did you guys got together the team for this entire idea?
All right. Hey guys, hello all viewers. Thanks for joining for this chat. So as you said, we combined have 60 plus years of experience. We've been techies. We have the best part is we co-founders all worked together for a long time. So from the part of Symantec, so I was the principal at Symantec when I met Sarah Bridgepal there. From Symantec, moved on to Thomson Reuters. From Thomson Reuters, I came to Symantec. From Symantec, moved on to CEB, where again we worked together. They were in India, I was in the States. Then when decided to come back to India for family reasons, and then was working at Symantec for Sapient, and Tesco was our client. And we had Sarah Bridgepal also moved to Bangalore. We were all together. We were all discussing how you see technology has been impacting various lives, especially AI, ML has been impacting a lot of areas. We had a rich history of working with the human resources side, the HR side, right? We have been working with AT assistants. We've done a lot of areas where, let's say machine learning based resume, good fit analysis, a lot of stuff. One area that it is not impacted is actually in the software development space. Right, you still have to hire droves and droves of engineers to build anything that you want. You still need a long time from ideation to live. You're still looking at a journey of around.
Prashant, can I request you to be a bit louder or closer to the mic, please?
6 to 9 months is your typical span. Going from ideation to live, right? So we've been discussing about that, and then you're talking about how quickly you can change. Once you go down a path, you can't change quickly. So we're all discussing about it. Then it came through that we should probably try building something on that space, right? So the area we had our previous history was ATS. So we started with something called as HUVATS. It's like a hire your way applicant tracking system. As we did that, we went to an event in IIT. We said we have to validate this idea, right? We went to an event in IIT startup. We were probably the oldest guys there. We were uncles to all the kiddos there, right? But still, we won the third place. It gave us a boost to say that it's probably there is a lot of merit in this idea. We quickly signed on with the Blue Bolt accelerator. And which is where when we went down this path, started building an automatic generation of applicant tracking system, which is when we realized that HR space is really tough, right? We realized that making a sale is very tough. And we wanted to pivot very quickly and see if we can go about building, if we are able to generate code for an ATS, why not for any other space? We quickly took our learning online, we quickly pivoted, and Codeninja.ai was born. So this is again why Codeninja.ai, as I said, our goal is to make software development so easy that you don't have to be a techie to actually come and build your own apps. Build your own apps in the sense enterprise grade applications. It's been a journey where we spent 2-3 years just building this platform, getting to a stage where we can actually generate a decent bit of code where we can actually build an application that can scale, that is flexible. And here we are today where we have been having so many enterprise clients, so much demand that we are unable to keep up. That's the very, very short journey of Codeninja.
Thanks, Prashant. I think what you guys are doing is a great boost for the startup ecosystem also. You are being a growth catalyst for them. Great thing. Moving on to the next question. What are the struggles you guys have seen or are still seeing in your startup?
I will take this one. So, I mean, as the word itself, right, is startup. So it comes up with its own challenges. And adding to the Prashant, what I said, the first thing is, so when Prashant was in US, I was in India. So we were having multiple ideas, right? So when you do not have a direction, you have multiple ideas. So which one to work on? So the first and important, when we joined together for this startup, so I will continue from that place. So one of the things is, as Prashant has mentioned, that we started with HUATS. So HUATS was named as Hire Your Way ATS, Application Tracking System. So we were trying to target the HR space, and slowly and gradually we realized that okay, HRs, they are not the power managers, or you can say they are not the decision makers. And our product requires, some kind of, okay, you need to be on the decision making power so that this software can be implemented. This can be implemented to an organization. So after and slowly and gradually we were, at the same point we were also expanding our horizons with respect to the features within the product. So this is one part of it. Now, as we realize that okay, this HR space is not going to, it is not our, you can say, not our space to target. We moved from that space to creating applications. So where we say that okay, how no code can actually help you. Now, when we get into that opportunity, the first question that comes to the people, you can say everyone's mind is, okay, how can machine write a code? What is no code? How can you develop things without developers being into the central space? And people become, they tend to become very skeptical about these. The term itself, no code, right? It is very skeptical that how can you develop a product without writing a single line of code? So for that, we started developing a couple of applications to showcase the power of this no code, to showcase the power of this whole ecosystem, that how it can help you, how it can help you accelerate your digital transformation. So that was the idea. And yes, over the course of time, we were able to convince them, okay, this is the no code, this is the power. So having, you can say, authenticity and approval from larger enterprises as of today. Now coming to the second point, yes, the first challenge and the biggest challenge was making people understand what exactly no code platform is. Then as we were kind of bootstrapped, right? The second major challenge was of, you can say, the fund management, right? So we have to manage a team, we have to manage the product, we have to manage the technology, we have to, you can say, manage the whole startup ecosystem. So as we were, like others, right? We were new to this startup domain. So we have to, you can say, we were kind of not very smart enough to manage the funds properly. So this is, what I say is the, you can say, the second largest thing. Then yes, of course, like any other startup, hiring right candidates, right? So for example, when you say no code, no technology, right? How can you do it? Then you have to align your team, you have to align your candidates you are going to hire with respect to your vision. So if you are able to translate that thing, so then it will be very helpful for the overall journey. So hiring was one of the you can say one of the concern for us, but you can say luckily we were writing the platform. The core team has written the base from the scratch. Second was, as again, as a startup, right, you want to try to multiple directions. So you will have, okay, let's go to this opportunity, let's grab this opportunity also, let's create this, let's do this, right? So because you want to create a space for yourself. So but eventually we realized that okay, we have to be very specific, we have to target, you can say, the right features, right product at the right time. So these are the, you can say, the major concerns that we have faced initially, and including time management, right? So as a startup, you want to do, as I said earlier, you want to do multiple things at the right, you can say, at the same time, because you want to create a space for yourself, you want to create, you can say a brand as far, you can say, as fast as you can. So this is primarily, I think, Prashant and Deepak, if you like to add something here.
Prashant, you're speaking on mute.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly well put. But then we should also highlight one fact that we haven't come to it. Yes, we were all techies when we started off. We started building the platform, right? We were techies. We know how to build. We didn't know how to sell, right? That's when we started to sell, we brought in Deepak. You know, Deepak is coming with a tremendous experience in the enterprise, and that's when we onboarded Deepak as another co-founder, because you know, building is something great, but in the end it has to sell, right? Sell through is what is important. So initial focus was all on building. 2-3 years, you know, we put financial pressure on ourselves to make sure we build it right, and then we then started focusing. It's almost just 1 year and 3 months, I guess, since we actually started selling. Now with Deepak on board, I think I should proudly say that we have hit $1 million milestone as well last week. So we hit $1 million revenue milestone. Being a startup, it's again a proud thing for us. 1 year, 1.5 year worth of sales, hitting that milestone is something really great. Yeah. Anything else, Deepak, you want to add?
Yeah, so I think there are, your question was what problem we were facing and now what problem we are facing. So I would, concentrate on what problems we are facing right now on the sales side of this. So I would say, right, even today, we hit a $1 million revenue. We still having a trouble to make people understand what is a no-code platform. There are the two reasons behind that, because people think I have spent my decades of a life writing a code. How a robot can come and machine can come in between and write a code the way I am writing it, right? So that is one thing. It's really really difficult for people to digest. And most of the people, those who have worked with a low code platform, not a no code platform, they said you still need to write a code because it is a low code platform like a WordPress, Wix, or a SAP or anything. You take any platform. So you still need a coding knowledge to write a code on that. How can an application or a machine come in between and write a whole code from web to mobile to everything, and up to that enterprise level grade? That was one of the biggest challenge we are still facing it right now. Yeah.
And again, conversion rate is another thing. If you want to add, that's
yeah. There is a challenge on the conversion, because based on the same thing, if we are converging, going and talking with an enterprises, so most of the solution architects will face it and says, okay, I will give my best level of a problem to them to write it out. So give them a demo. Give us a demo on that way. How can you write a code in this problem for that problem? So I would say giving a solutions to their problem itself is actually improving our platform by no code and pushing them and says, okay, now we are ready for your problem. You can write it whatever you want to develop on top of that. So conversion rate is one of a very difficult challenge. And I think what Prashant has mentioned last week, we have achieved 1 million. But before that, we were having a funds crunches also, like, because most of the enterprises were having a 45 days or 60 days time crunch, or, to give it. So that was one of another challenge we were facing earlier. But now I think we would be okay.
Thanks, guys. Interesting stories. I truly believe that each startup should have a right mix of product guys and business guys. And I think you have got the right team now to take it forward. And we're looking forward to your celebration of the 1 million mark soon.
That's right.
Yeah.
Moving to the next question. How are you different from other low code or zero code app enterprises?
Prashant or Saurabh?
If you see our website or anything, right, we actually do not call ourselves as no code per se. We say we are a zero code platform, right? From an end user perspective, it is still a no code. But if you come in, I think we kept telling even in the previous questions as well, it is difficult to sell to the end customer to say that, hey, how can a machine write a code? Correct. So that is the biggest differentiator compared to any other low code, no code platforms out there. correct? Many of these low-code platforms are BPM tools or business process management tools that are masquerading today, that are just upgrading themselves to be a low-code platform. Even a no-code platform, take AppSheets or anything as example, right? They need to have their runtime through which they'll be able to execute it. But we are entirely different. We have a machine, we have a platform, we have our own homegrown trained engine that actually writes code. It compiles it, it tests it, validates it, packages it, deploys it end to end. We cover the end to end SDLC with that. Now, the benefit of that, at any point of time, you can download the source code from Codeninja and walk away. That's what we give the freedom to our customers. None of our competitors today can tell us, claim as such, right? So we say at any point of time, you download the source code of your entire application and just walk away. Now, that is one point. The second point is we can allow you to build different interfaces for different screens. So when I say screens, your web can be different, your tablet interfaces can be different, your mobile interfaces can be different, all from a single configuration. So which will allow you to do like a single click and deploy once across all the areas. So not only we can do this, we can automatically deploy it. Another bigger thing that our engine has, the smartness, is auto versioning of the code. When you talk to any developer, they'll tell you the biggest issue for them today is going to be deploying. You built something and suddenly the business comes and asks for a change. For them to go back and do it, it's always going to be a pain. They'll be breaking something that's already working. They will be go back tweaking something, rewriting the entire architecture again. They're doing so many changes. With Codeninja, you can come and flick off a finger, come and do whatever you want, do all the changes you want. Our engine will be smart enough to automatically version that code and deploy it. So you don't have to worry whether I'm going to break something or not, right? Because it's taken care of, integrated. Other bigger thing is we are such an open platform that we allow you to write plugins. If let's say for some reason our engine is not able to generate exact code like what you want, like for example, it's not able to do a specific requirement. Let's say you have your own way of getting from point A to point B. Let's say you have your own algorithm, right? You can come in and write a plugin. And in that, you can extend the features of Codeninja as well and build more that is specific to yours. Anything you want to add, Saurabh, for this?
Yeah, I mean, you have captured most of the points. Now, you can say how we are different. Yes, in terms of features, in terms of this. So download and this code is one of the, you can say, prime features of ours. Now, I mean, apart from this, majority of the things that like we can add a different cloud, right? So the deployment strategy of ours. So Prashant, if you'd like to explain that.
So one of the things is whenever you deploy, let's take even AWS, for example, you have the cycle of deployment where you need to, bring down one server, push to the others, then you go back, you first do a database, maintain backwards completely, like there is a blue-green field deployments which people go crazy about, right? And moreover, today AWS is expensive. You want to go to Azure, what do? You end up again working for 6 months to build to that. I know my previous company where I was working for, I know they moved from AWS to Azure, and I know I've heard of all the pains that they were talking about. So we know for sure that how it takes. So, but with Codeninja, you can easily go and deploy and target any kind of cloud. Any cloud that you are talking about, Azure, AWS, your own data centers, GCPs, very quickly, and you can actually deploy without having to. We also have our own paid and pending zero downtime deployment, through which you'll be able to like flick a finger and push the latest changes, hot deploy across all the servers without impacting a single customer, which is again a big benefit when you're running a very large enterprise grade applications. It's important to regularly push updates without impacting the end customer. So that's again, as I said, we are focused so much on the enterprise grade platform things, right? Like security. We recently had a pen test done by one of our large customers. Zero bugs on Codeninja generated application. most of the issues that they reported was on the IT side, the technology side, where they had to say that, hey, you should not allow from this network, etc., etc. Nothing to do with the application. They simply were not able to find a single security issue with that. And we will be able to support so much multi-security as well. Like if you want to do ADFS, you want to do SSO, anything can be done, right? You want to support multiple databases. You want to, let's say, do Oracle, MySQL, Postgres, any of those is supported. So which is where all this put together, right? We are talking about scalability, flexibility, a complete SDLC of code, of the enterprise application is what Codeninja excels in. And we can develop an application that scales. In fact, we developed for one very large public sector oil company. I'm not going to take a name. We developed an application where we had 3 crores transaction TPS per second, generated revenue on that worth of almost 35 crores for them, I guess. So this is another big thing for us, again, to just go back and say how we can differentiate. We can scale, we are flexible, we are the true enterprise heroes here in terms of the application. I mean, the applications that are developed are true enterprise level grade applications.
Yeah. So, I mean, adding to this one, there is, I mean, if you combine all these features, this is kind of no vendor lock-in. So whereas if you see our competitors, or if you see rest of the no-code or low-code platforms, you have to stick to their platform forever. You can't move away. Either you have to build your application from scratch to some other platform, or you have to hire developers, then build it again. But here, if you combine all these features together, or if you, I mean, see the download code, right, multi-database support, multi-authentication layers, you can actually, I mean, you don't actually need to go away. Not exactly go away, but I mean, you don't have to depend on, you can say, Codeninja. But however, having said that, none of our customers have actually done it as of now. So they are kind of, you can say, enjoying the power of no-code.
Great. I really like the confidence of Prashant when he said, we like this, we can do this. And it was awesome. But what Saurabh said in the end, I think that stayed with me, that it gives the freedom to the startup that you don't have to, that flexibility to move on to any other platform if you want certain changes. I think that was something which you are giving the startups a great flexibility. And for a journalist like me, what comes out very simply is you are going to take away the biggest problem of IT industry, which is managing bench strength. So if you can do this, that is the biggest problem each of the companies and enterprises are facing. And secondly, as you have clearly defined, that you are able to even give flexibility in the time cycle. So that is the biggest thing. Great, guys. Moving to the next question.
So just one more thing there. You brought the point of startup, right? One of the biggest point of a startup is they want to raise funds. For them to raise funds, they need to own the IP, the intellectual property. Correct? You go with any zero-code, low-code platforms, you don't have an IP there, right? The IP is with, it's like configuration of that there. But with this, you can actually download the code, you own your IP, you can take away, and you can say, you know what, I'm going to hire an army of developers and maintain this. But yeah, but nobody does that because it's like man-eater, right? Once it tastes the blood, you just want to have that same thing, right? It's just like that. Once you get the taste of how quick and easy it is to leverage Codeninja to build and maintain the applications, you will not walk away from that. You want to, why would you spend $1 million and an army of engineers to build that, right? While you can spend with Codeninja to quickly maintain this application. Yeah, sorry, please go ahead.
Thanks, Prashant. So moving to the next question, who are your target customers and how do you monetize your model?
Okay, so I think I'll take that question. So our target customers are enterprises, a first choice. So the reason being we are having
Deepak and Prashant, my request is if you can be a bit more loud or maybe closer to the mics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it okay now?
Yes. Great. Yeah.
Okay. So our target customers are enterprises on the first choice. So the enterprises being our first choice for the reason being is because they are the person, those who are spending a lot of money. So that is one of the biggest reason. And we have a very big insurance company with us. We are having the biggest real estate enterprise company with us. one of the world's largest IT consultant companies, our customer. We have one of the world's biggest steel manufacturers is one of our customer. So those are our priority target customers. So apart from that, we are also scaling up and targeting a mid-scale software companies, or you can say IT consultant. You only said that managing the manpower and taking a headache from there. So the most of the mid-scale IT consultant companies faces that issues, right? So and that is where we wanted to target on that, and we are targeting. We have fastest growing BPO KPO with us, and multiple other mid-sized companies we are putting up. And I think the other target segment we are having is our startups and entrepreneurs, because they want to be in the market on the quick note, and they says, okay, the go-to market is one of a thing which they really want to enjoy by using a Codeninja as an platform for them. So these are the three major segments which we are targeting right now. And we have another target which will change it in the future, which we can go up to anybody who wants to develop an application. So basically we can go up to the whole world. We can open ourselves to the whole world. That is our next target once we get up with the new gen platform on this. So I think, yeah, to answer your question, these are the 4 segments which we are targeting right now. And it's a big segment as per the number. If you can see that Gartner is reported that, the low code platform would be a $25 billion industry by 2022. And it would be close to $100 billion in next decade. So we can see the scope. And I think, or we think, that we are at the right time at the right place. So yeah, looking for changing the world.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Great. So coming to the last question, and I think the question which is closest to the heart of the founders, what is your vision and where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
So I'm going to actually answer that in 2 parts, right? The first part will be the immediate vision. So as Deepak was mentioning, we target mostly enterprises today, right? And our licenses are also structured like that, where you can deploy on the interface, in the enterprise itself. The immediate vision right now is to do a Codeninja Lite, where we want to have kind of very cool UI interface through which we can open up ourselves to the world. Let's take freelancers, let's take freshers out of college, let's take folks who want to just quickly build something. They don't know everything. They don't have the tech team. They don't have anything. They just want to come and build quickly something. We want them to be able to come, pay via credit card, and just build a application and use it, walk away wherever you want to deploy it. So that's the very, very immediate vision. But what again differentiates us from everybody else is we actually write the code, right? The AI engine that we have got and the platform that we have got actually writes code. Now that keeps learning from every application that is built. As we have enough data, let's say a few years down the line, we want to be able to have the actual, let's say the Jarvis version of Codeninja. We want to call it Codeninja Jarvis, where it is actually going to tell the customer what you want to build. It's, as it's building, it's going to say, okay, do you want to add a coupon system? Let's say you're building e-commerce. Do you want to add a coupon system? Do you want to add inventory management? Do you want to add this? Do you want to add that? It's going to start asking him questions, and even want to speed up the entire software development lifecycle to just days or maybe hours. Let's say you have take Swiggy and Zomato as an example. Swiggy came up with a new feature. Zomato wants to build it. Zomato, let's say, is using Codeninja. Next 2 hours, they make the change, deploy it live. We want to be able to bring to that level where folks will be able to go and make changes to their existing applications, to their flows, react to the market conditions. Market is going at light speed right now. We want to be at that speed. We want you to be able to develop at that speed. So that is the focus. That's the vision where we want to get to. Any should be able to build it. We want our engine to have so much capacity and data that it actually tells how to build it. It actually tells them, prompts them, and say, hey, we'll build this for you if you want it. Stuff like that. So yeah, power in the hands of the users is where we see it.
Great vision. I think a lot of AI coming in, a lot of jobs will be replaced. We as a human race will have to improvise and upskill ourselves to identify different sectors of job.
Yeah, you know, I actually read a post where I think in one of the news it said that there's a new low-code platform that's going to make CTOs obsolete, right? It is not true exactly, right? It's not true. We are not looking to make anybody absolute. We are not looking to take away, as a zero-code platform, we are not looking to take away jobs. In fact, we want to empower them to do better, to do faster, to do more. So we are not replacing developers. While it can replace, we are not saying that we are replacing developers. We are actually empowering them to do faster, better. Let's say there's somebody coming in who does not have a development team. Let's say he's coming in who doesn't have a tech team. He doesn't have the money to go to Infosys, Wipros of the world. Come on a zero code platform like Codeninja. Come and build it very quickly and, you know, taste the success there, right? So we want to empower people more, and we're not trying to displace anyone, as you were mentioning. So AI is probably used good. It's not going to displace people. It's going to empower people.
And mainly, you'll take away the seasonality of software developers which are needed for different kind of jobs, so that at least you'll be able to help the businesses with, and obviously the time cycle. But one thing which I like what you said was your AI prompting your users what they can put, what they can add, what plugin in place they can put in the tool. Maybe as a startup guy, when he comes with a broad idea that this is the tool he wants to build, and maybe your AI can help him take 20%, 30% ahead of his vision. So I think that will be a great enabler which you guys can bring in. So thanks a lot, guys. I think it was great to have you on with us on this fireside chat. We learned a lot about this thing. Over to Brigadier Jeevan for summing up.
Yeah, thank you, Abhishek. Prashant, Deepak, and Saurabh. It was simply awesome. And we were actually awestruck. If I may say, Naradji came and he said, hey, here is the Kali Yuga Brahma, the creator of a new cloud, which nobody ever thought of. That's what probably Codeninja is going to do in times to come. And what Prashant said, very aptly said, empower people, empower productivity, empower the world, and not take away the leadership. Leadership still continues. Human resource still continues to be the buzzword, but you are enabling that human resource to do better for this world. It is all that I like to sum it up. Thank you all, guys, for doing this wonderful. You all are great brains, and with the best seller around you, you should have no challenges reaching 1 billion mark soon. Wish you all the very best.
Thank you.